Also, oh, it's just me today. It's gonna be a solo stream, which, Nick's handling his own thing today. He talked about it on Twitter. You can go look at that if you want to. But I kind of dig solo streams, no offense to Nick and our regular guests, but it gives me a chance to play these nerdy games that I don't necessarily get that much chance to play on the stream the other time. Of course, there's Crackle. I'm just waiting for the Crackle to get sorted out. So, yeah, until Nick feels better, this will be me on today's stream. We're going to be playing a little bit of Master of the Grid to start with, so you can head to masterofthegrid.net/play/twitch/Northernlion and hopefully grab a seat and play some trivia, which I will be hosting for the first hour. We'll be moving to Geoguessr in the second hour, which should be exciting. Gives me a chance to get in on the trivia action, and then we'll be finishing up with the Binding of Isaac Daily Challenge, although I think it, rolls over in the middle of the day that we're playing or something like that. But how are you guys doing? Northernlion, get back to your jail cell, mate. NL, I'm not gonna bullshit you, there is Crackle. Next message immediately says, Crackle gone. Bark you. You know what? I have a feeling you might be being a little facetious right now. In any case, I'm not... Oh, it's because I'm wearing an orange shirt? This shirt actually says Foxman on it. It's a shirt that I bought from Redbubble, which allows, any artist to sell their work, but I'm pretty sure somebody just took a picture that somebody else drew for Mike and then started selling a shirt with it, so I bought it. Especially in good conscience, knowing that Michael A. L. Fox got zero money for it. Just kidding. I like that guy. I bought him a beer. Also, Pull, yeah, I heard you got a 1.4 euro, or 1.4 thousand euro knife. That is ridiculous. In any case, we're going to start seeding for Master of the Grid. If you are not familiar with what the heck is going on in Master of the Grid, this is indeed the shirt I was wearing for the Ice Bucket Challenge, all tomato. If you're not familiar with what it is, you'll get it figured out pretty quickly, but we're going to start just by putting the music back on, set a little gravitas, if you will, and I'm going to click start seeding, and hopefully, hey, Nayrang, thank you very much for that subscription. I know we sort of crashed the site, but I'm hoping that it still works in the meantime and we can at least get people sitting down. So if you're in the room, you should be able to click on a seat. They're probably nearly all full by now, but there is a default model, so now they don't look like they're just kind of, not occupied. So I'll just wait until all these seats fill up, and then we'll get started. NL Crow is streaming in 2 hours. I hope that guy gets the most valuable item in the entire game. He deserves it. Oh, you know what? We just need a Luke to load in here, and then we'll have all the models. I'd rather not have an empty chair. It's not his fault. Just because it's not loading, the site's a little broken. I think that might be causing some issues. There we go. We've got at least all the seats filled up, even if some of them are by custom skins that haven't loaded yet. Let's get started. Oh, what the heck, man? Marcus29 Raw, your avatar changed. Okay, here comes the first question. We don't have that many new questions, so I'm hoping we get to finish enough without overlapping, but we'll see. The shows will begin in 0 seconds. Eagerly awaiting it. Okay, here we go. Start challenge. Question 1. Which country has the highest average beer consumption per capita in the world? China, Germany, the United States, or the Czech Republic? I reviewed this answer myself. I know it to be true. I hope that I put some information in the notes for me, because I would love to have some interesting trivia when I actually have the chance to read out the next question. But I'm expecting a lot of people to get it a little tricky here. Get a little tripped up. That is indeed the Czech Republic, home of the Pilsner. Do we have notes? Can I see that in settings? Yeah, average beer consumption per capita. Czech Republic, 148.8 liters per year. That is 42 more than Germany. China, down at 32 liters per year. It's like a liter every 10 days. 30 milliliters of beer a day keeps the doctor away. That's what I always said. All right, go to results. Let's see what we got here. Everybody has 3 lives, so you can get 3 questions wrong before you get kicked out of the game. We'll start to see people get bounced here on the 3rd question. That was a little tricky one. Oh, Foothington, you have a crown. Is that actually, everybody with a crown is somebody that's previously won a game, I guess, or won enough gritties to actually buy it? And the fastest answer goes to ED there. By the way, the only other rule that I can come up with off the top of my head here is if everybody gets a question wrong, nobody loses any lives. But that doesn't really happen until we get a little bit later. Here we go, next challenge. Dota 2 runs on the Source engine. False or true? Just as a little bit of a little complaint that I have. Maybe this is a European thing, but in Canada, North America, as far as I know, we do true-false. Not false-true. It's making it a little confusing. My brain is hardwired to go straight for the left, which doesn't make sense here. Dota 2 does run on the Source engine, according to Lumen LTE, and the person that answered that. Didn't they? It got updated to like Source Engine 2 recently. Dota 2 runs on a modified version of Valve's Source Engine. There's its Gamepedia article. You can't see it, but I can see it. All right, go to results. I hope that's correct, because I know if it's not, a lot of people are going to get on its case about it pretty quickly. All right, it looks like we got maybe a little bit more than 50% getting it right now. Previous champions got it all going on right now. A couple of people are going to be bounced out soon. We've got a few people. I can't actually find anybody that's been knocked down to 1 life so far. Congrats, Calamity, on getting the correct answer fastest. I agree. I saw someone in chat, by the way, say you should get some gritties for having the fastest correct answer. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Oh, we actually have an empty seat. There we go. Some 1 stars here. A little risky. Yeah, there's actually a lot more than I thought there were. Here we go. This question could start knocking people out here. True or false? Most of the scientific community believes that light is both a particle and a wave. Is that true or false? When you review these questions, you realize there's a lot of people who are probably they have their science textbooks opened and they're saying, this is going to be on my grade 11 physics test. I want to put it in the trivia game. And I think that's the appropriate level. It's probably more like grade 9, but that's probably the appropriate level of question for this. So I would have approved this one as well. Yes, it is true. By the way, preserved vaginagar. That's not necessarily offensive, even though it might sound like it. That's that southern region in India in Crusader Kings 2 and EU4. Thank you very much for the subscription. Yeah, most of the scientific, there's the particle wave duality as proved by the double slit experiment. Wink, wink. Have to ask your mother about that one. Interesting. Let's see who's going to get bounced on that one. Go to results. Oh, we got 1 person kicked. 2. 3. That's not so bad. 4, 5. 6. There's 83 people that start the game. So to only lose 8 of them is really not so bad. And the fastest answer, the Pineapple Pyro. You look like a weird, freaky Prometheus alien on my screen right now, but that's okay because you got the fastest correct answer. All right, here we go. Looks like we've got a music-related question here. Which of the following are singles released by the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Rollin', Other Side, Snow, Coffee Shop. You know, when I was in 6th grade in our French class, we had to write a menu for a French, well, not a French restaurant, but a menu for a restaurant in French. I was such a big fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers that I did a restaurant called the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Our signature dish was a bowl of Red Hot Chili Peppers. I got like a C. It would definitely be the worst place to eat in the world. You know what? Despite being a huge fan when I was 13, I still did not know that Coffee Shop was actually a song by them. I was pretty confident that Roll In, sorry, not with the G like some kind of square. Yeah, it says Rollin' is by Limp Bizkit in the challenge notes. I'm aware. Let's go to our results here and see how many people got kicked. Those questions where you have to name, oh my god. I was just about to say, those questions where you have to name all the correct answers are definitely the hardest ones that you can possibly get. And look at, we are getting people bounced like crazy. There are only like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people that got those correct. That's a ridiculous one. Foothington, though. The correct answer, staying in with 2 lives. Not sure if we have anybody that still has 3. We'll wait until we get a little bit further. That's the kind of question I like to see, even though it's super difficult, because it, you know, it really separates people quickly. All right. Here we go. A video game related question. I can see a preview of it myself. It is, in the Pokemon series of video games, TM stands for Trademark, Technical Machine, Tacos Machine, or Trade Machine. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I don't know the answer to this question. I always wondered, you know, what does TM stand for? I know what it stands for in real life. Trackmania, obviously. I think you can make an educated guess that it's probably going to be Technical Machine, and indeed that is the correct answer. TM stands for Technical Machine. A technical machine in the Pokemon universe is a form of CD. Pokemon trainers can give these CDs to their Pokemon to help them to learn new moves to use against opponent Pokemon. Interesting. I have a feeling we'll probably see a little bit more of a uniform positive answers there. Let's see if we get anybody kicked out. There's 3 in a row there. They must have been cheating off the person in the middle. And another 3 in a row down there. Looks like we thinned the herd a little bit. I wish there was a way to see just how many people were still in the game. Hito Shura 0, 2 lives left, and a previous winner on my show, if I remember correctly. I think I might have seen you beat a Luke on Bear's channel as well. This one is gonna be a little bit interesting. You guys good at sports trivia? I always feel like when you're in these like video game focused rooms, having a, ooh, you still have 3 stars there, and you look like a shirtless me with like Technicolor nipples. I always feel like having some knowledge of sports can help separate you from the rest of the herd here. Let's try it out. Rank these teams by the number of baseball World Series they have won as of 2014. The Minnesota Twins, the Oakland Athletics, St. Louis Cardinals, Boston Red Sox, Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm assuming that, you know, this should be in the question, but I'm assuming there should be, like, in order of, like, least to most. So the bottom team should be the team that's won the most. This should be, like, fixed in the question, I think. But anyway, I think that's probably going to be, you know, Oakland at the bottom, Boston at the top, or St. Louis at the top. There you go. Minnesota at the bottom. Oakland have won 9 out of the 14 World Series they played in. I actually thought the Oakland Athletics had never won a World Series. That's my mistake. I guess it's just I wasn't alive in the 60s and 70s. That is a very tough question. Minnesota Twins have won 3 World Series. St. Louis Cardinals have won 19. That's a lot. Let's go to our results here. Oh, man. It is another bloodbath. If everybody gets it wrong, though, nobody loses a heart. That is amazing. Everybody got it wrong. There's like 30 people left in the game. Not even random chance could help anybody out there. That is an incredibly tough question. Honestly, a question that should be saved for like the end of the game. Okay. Waiting for the next challenge to begin. It's a question about social media. As of 2014, what post has the most net upvotes in Reddit's history? Barack Obama's Ask Me Anything, a young child asking for a banana, test post please ignore, or a gallery of butt cracks from a Magic the Gathering convention. All of these are what I'm going to name my post-hardcore band once we get off the ground, but that is definitely crack style from the Magic the Gathering tournament. I remember seeing that post. I check Reddit's top now and then, mostly just to watch that Charlie LaDuff video where he is the best journalist of all time. But in any case, I think it used to be test post please ignore. Let's see who got that right. Oh my god, this one is proving difficult as well. We finally had a couple of correct answers there. I think most people probably went for test post please ignore or Barack Obama's AMA, but geez Louise, ED sticking in there with 3 hearts. You might be the last person in the game to actually have 3 hearts. Let's take a look at who we got left in the game. Alex Zini, 72, 1 heart left. Nihus, 1 heart left. Macho Man Randy Savage, 1 heart left. Reed S.A., 1 heart left. Afflicted One, the same. Former champion Foothington outlasted Elucidator, but only 1 heart left. Tons Clow, I hope that's even close. 1 heart. Hitoshura, 1 heart. Sigma Receptor, 1 heart. ED with 3 freaking hearts. Magresta with 1. Night Soil with 1. Freezification with 1. Marcus 29 RA with 1. And Hammerschniz with 1. ED, you're looking a little bit suspicious here, man. 3 hearts left when everybody else in the game only has 1 or has been eliminated. But you did get that baseball question wrong. But you know what? That baseball question would have been hard to Google. I'm not saying you are cheating. I'm just saying if you're not, you're doing a great job. If you are, cut that shit right out. Here we go. Start the challenge. In linguistics, which of these examples demonstrates a homonym? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Buffalo, 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 buffalo. Was it a car or a cat I saw? She sells seashells by the seashore. Well, that is definitely the toughest question that I've had to read as a host. I feel like I've gone through a lot here. The answer to that question is buffalo, 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 buffalo. The new game from Terry Kavanaugh. A homonym, according to the challenge notes, is a word that has multiple meanings while staying the exact same in pronunciation and spelling. Other examples show tongue twisters, palindromes, or tmesis, which is just nothing at all, which I guess is this one. All right, interesting question. Let's see. ED got that one wrong. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And freezification, sticking in there. I recognize your avatar now that it's splayed across your torso. Digitally, of course. There are 9 people left in the game, 1 with 2 hearts. Everybody else is right on the line here. And we have a geography question coming up. This is one that is going to be a little bit difficult for people that maybe aren't suited for Geoguessr. But here we go. Where are the Faroe Islands? So you get to choose on the map here. Where are the Faroe Islands? Are they on the northwestern tip of Scotland? The northern, well, I guess between Scotland and Iceland. Are they on the northeastern tip of Scotland? Are they at the tip of Norway at the north? Or are they way down here in, you know, what looks to be Turkey? I'm going to go ahead and admit that I don't know, but I think it's... I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know that the Faroe Islands were between Iceland and Scotland. I thought they were the northwest one, right here. It's a tricky one, potentially. No trivia about that one, but that's okay. Let's go to our results and see who gets to stay in the game. Couple people being bounced, 3 people being bounced, but 6 people managed to stay in the game in Futhington. Sticking with it right here. 2 fastest answers so far. Still 2 HP. On E_D. We're going to start the next challenge. This one, I'm just going to be straight with you, looks pretty difficult. What is the Neo-Latin word for potassium? Is it cryptium, calcium, phosphori, or coltium? I think this might be one of those questions where even if you don't know Neo-Latin, which I'm going to go ahead and assume, take a leap of faith and assume that most of you don't, maybe you can just knock this out with a process of elimination. Like, I might say coltium. I would have been wrong. I thought calcium would be calcium. Wow, so many people in chat seem to have the right answer. I'm impressed. Let's go to our results and see who else is as smart as you guys are. Wow, really? Am I just an idiot? Oh, you know, I'm an idiot. Actually, no, I'm not an idiot, because there were a couple there that were K. Obviously, potassium is K on the periodic table, but still. All right, a film-related question. Chemistry, obviously, everybody has on lock. Let's see how you remember your films. Put these Martin Scorsese films in order of release from oldest to newest. So the most recent will be at the bottom, and the most distant will be at the top. You have Goodfellas, Gangs of New York, Taxi Driver, The Aviator, and Raging Bull. All, very famous. Oh, kalium is the word for potassium in most European languages, or many European languages is what I just heard. That's crazy. I did not know that. You know, potassium in English is potassium. So I was confused. So at first, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull. I think it's like 79, 81, 93, 2002, 2004, something like that. So distant enough that shouldn't be that difficult, but you could get tripped up, I guess, between like Gangs of New York and The Aviator, or Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, especially if you haven't seen some of them. Oh, we've got all wrong answers. All right, you guys handle the chemistry questions, I'll handle the movie questions from now on. Nobody loses any points on that one. I am very surprised. Next question. It's going to be about comic books. Which villain appears in the first ever Batman comic? Or villains. You got to tick off all valid answers. Poison Ivy, the Joker, the Mad Hatter, or Catwoman. Or Catwoman. Have a feeling Catwoman should probably be one word. There's something weird about seeing it spliced like that with a capital W. Let's see how many people can get a capital W here. It's the Joker and Catwoman. I would have been tempted to put Poison Ivy and the Mad Hatter in instead. I would have been completely wrong, because the Mad Hatter seems like one of those villains that they try out in like episode 1, and then they're like, this guy, he's not really shaking out for us. Let's see. Is this all okay? That's a weird one. It looked like everybody got it wrong, but actually a few people got bounced out. But Hammerschnizd, Freezification, and ED are all left here, all with 1 HP. This could be the end. This question is going to be about video games. Lots of questions about this video game show up, to the point where I reject about half of them, otherwise the game would be exclusively about Spelunky and TF2. Mr. Hidama asks, there are above 3,000 different items in Team Fortress 2. Is that true or false? Just running through the numbers in my head now, you got 9 classes. That would be like, I don't know, 350 items per class? I don't think there's 350 items per class. I'm going to say false on this one for myself personally. And that is indeed false. Although according to the notes, it's not false by much. As of the 25th of September 2014, there are 2,452 items in TF2. according to this. Not sure if you count colors or anything like that. Our results, everybody has gotten that correctly. You know, with true or false questions, there's a temptation to maybe think it's going to be a trick question and go with, like, the extreme. I'm proud of you guys for figuring that one out. We have an anime question coming up next. Best of luck to you, because I will be useless here. Who was the main character of the anime Mobile Fighter G Gundam? Sorry, that was parsed weirdly. Who was the main character of the anime Mobile Fighter G Gundam? Is that Toshiro Mifune? Shuichi Minamino? Domon Kashu? Or Hiro Yui? I hope that those were, like, half decent, but they might not have been, unfortunately. Domon Kashu. That is a, well, that's a nutty answer there, isn't it? Let's go to our results, because honestly, I have no idea. And hey, oh my god, Hammerschnitt stays in. And everybody else gets bounced out. I am very surprised that Hammerschnitt pulled that away from ED. Congratulations, Hammerschnitt. Are you the leader in terms of, like, the number of griddies now? We don't know yet. I can't look at the leaderboards. But we're going to start seeding in just a moment. First things first, we're going to end the show. Again, you can try to get in, but we're already kind of packed into the room, so I doubt you're going to be able to. I'm going to run like a minute of ads just so I can take a quick bio break, and I'll be back to play at least one more, but probably 2 more games of Master of the Grid. That one went pretty quickly. So thanks for joining me on the solo stream so far, and I'll see you in like 90 seconds maximum. Wow, perfect timing. I have returned. Let us come back to the window here. I hope the site still works. Sometimes gets a little wonky. Be ready. I know that the game is sometimes like it crashes a little bit, but that's okay. If I just press the button instead, we should still be able to have people who like already got into the game get seated again. It just takes a little while for it to actually work. And now, what's the conversion of griddies to McGriddles? It's about like 1 trillion to 0, basically. And now, how do you feel about meatball subs? I'm for them. Wow, we got filled up very quickly here. Hammershiz, you didn't get your seat, man. As always, after you've played a game or two, if you could duck out, oh, you still got a seat. There you are, right there. If you played a game or two, it would be awesome if you could duck out. I can't enforce it, so you could be, you know, Tragedy of the Commons, Mr. yourself, and just keep trying to get into the game. But it would be awesome to have other people get in as well. In any case, we are about to begin. Here we go. If you want to see me answer trivia questions, stick around for Geoguessr in the second third of the stream. NL, how do you combat nipple chafing? You gotta get some body glide if you run a lot, or don't wear cotton shirts. Okay, the show will begin in 0 seconds. Here it comes. I'm ready. Any second now. Here we go. All right, we've got a question about sci-fi literature. Sci-fi literature. Don't trick me by saying unmute your mic. You guys you're tricky, okay? Here we go. I'm clicking the button. It's taking a little while. Any second now. It'll figure it out. There we go. In the Discworld series written by Terry Pratchett, what holds up the Discworld in space? It is carried on the back of the great space dolphin, Ambacoak. It is held on the back of the 4 elephants that stand up on the shell of the great turtle swimming through space. It is held on the back of the space buffalo, who ride on a giant space frog. Or it is actually a frisbee for space giants. I have actually no idea. It is held on the back of the 4 elephants that stand on the shell of the great turtle swimming through space. I was gonna guess the turtle, but I don't get to guess because I'm the host. So it really doesn't matter. If you search Discworld Wiki, it comes up with one of those mini Google pages that show up proving my fact, which is why I couldn't do a link. Also, the turtle is named Atuin, but I thought that'd be too much of a giveaway. In the books, it is constantly listed as a turtle, though. Thank you, Radioactive Ninja. I believe you. Okay. Looks like we got about... I was gonna say 50-50, but the second row really let me down there. Might have like 1/3 correct answers. 2/3 incorrect answers. Well, maybe it's closer to a half. We'll see who got the most, or the fastest correct answer there. Donkey! Previous winner, holding the crown. Another previous player right next to you. All right, another geography question. How do you guys like the geography questions? I love them. I think that gives me an advantage, but unfortunately I never managed to make it into Bears games because, you know, I'm on the other end. Don't think like, oh, this scum gets to host the game. He doesn't know what it's like to be in the trenches. I try to play on Bears stream all the time, and I always get, like, knocked out before I can even get to the seats. I lose the game before the game. Anyway, here comes question 2. What is the largest lake in the world by volume? Lake Turkana, gobble gobble, Gray's Lake, Lake Michigan, or Lake Baikal? Turkana, Gray's, Michigan, Baikal. I got into a big argument with one of my friends once about what the largest of the Great Lakes was. I said it was Lake Ontario. He said it was Lake Michigan. He was right. But the answer to this question is actually Lake Baikal. And the only thing in the challenge notes is a Wikipedia link, which I take to mean that this is actually true. Let's see. Let's go to the leaderboards with Mo. Mo. Elucidate. I like when you wear the crown if you've won previously, but I like Hammerschniz's, you know, like Uncle Sam hat, too. Even chat seems a little bit divided there. Lake Pacific Ocean is absolutely not a fair answer. Pacific Ocean isn't a lake, man. You're way wrong. Donkey again. Well, we know one thing's for sure. If you're Googling, you're the fastest Googler. Wait, Superior is bigger than Lake Michigan? He freaking lied to me. Hey, who else saw that Prison Architect episode was up, but now it's not? What's that all about? I uploaded the wrong one. Stop changing your hat, Hammerschniz, even though you're near death. There's no conspiracy, I promise. What is a cell membrane primarily composed of? Is it stuff? A dual layer of phospholipids? A simple columnar epithelium? Or a layer of triglycerol proteins? Yeah. Thank you for the subscription, by the way, Reppin' Bufu. I appreciate it on this lonely Monday. What is a cell membrane primarily composed of? Of course! You have to know that it's a dual layer of phospholipids. I'm not trying to pass judgment on anybody who may have gotten this wrong and even gotten bounced out as a result. But yes, a single layer, or sorry, a dual layer of phospholipids. The bilipid membrane, of course. Hammerschniz, I'm watching you, man. You're lucky, trying to keep your crown. Oh, but Donkey, I didn't expect you to miss that one. The Steel Gamer, you submitted a question in the last round that got through, and now you're playing yourself. I'm not trying to say that you know, creates an issue. I'm just saying, you know, welcome to the game. By the way, if you are a submitter, or sorry, not a submitter, but a reviewer for Master of the Grid, if you get a chance, you're not doing anything else, you should review some questions, because there's like 1,000 sitting in the queue right now. And you can pretty easily review about, you know, 20% of them by just saying no, because they just say, like, you know, is my username the coolest person in the world? And you just go, rejected. All right. Next question is Dota 2 specific. There are a lot of questions related to specific games. This one's Dota 2. Which Dota 2 hero is this? Slither, Slardar, Naga Siren, or Angler? Well, obviously, it If you've played the game, you can probably figure this out. If you haven't played the game, well, because you're kind of shit out of luck, aren't you? That kind of sucks. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey, if you don't know what trivia is asking you about, you're probably not going to get the question right. Of course, that is Slardar. One of my least favorite heroes to play as when I used to play Dota. But that sprint ability, man. Alright, let's see who our Dota 2 players are out here. Elucidate stays in. Was that a random guess, Elucidate? You can be honest with me, okay? I know he looks like an anglerfish a little bit. His name's not Angler. Hammerschnitt stays in as well. I ate anglerfish once when I lived in Korea. Wasn't that tasty? Pineapple Pyro, fastest to answer correctly. Not only staying in, but not even concerned about answering, you know, in a careful, considered manner. Just wants to get it done as quickly as possible. Got the right answer. If you know, you know, I guess. Okay. This one is going to be a little difficult, I think, for those of you who are not familiar with recent history. Get ready. Which of the following titles were officially used by the monarch Maria Theresa during her reign? Tick off all of the valid answers. Empress of the Romans, Archduchess of Austria, Duchess of Bohemia, Queen of Parma, and Piacenza. I'm going to go ahead and say that Archduchess of Austria probably isn't one, because that would be a queen or an empress level title. Maybe the other three, though? Ooh, way wrong. Not even close. This is a very difficult question. According to the challenge notes, her actual titles were Queen of Bohemia and Duchess of Parma and Piacenza, not Duchess, respectively, Queen of said territories. Empress of the Romans at this point in time refers to the Holy Roman Empire, not the actual Roman Empire of antiquity. I see. That was very confusing, but the Queen and Duchess title would be shifted or swapped here if this was going to make all four correct. What a tricky question. That's one for our European viewers, I suppose. In North America, we don't learn that much about, you know, that level of European history, like that, you know, down to the individual rulers for each individual kingdom. Wow, only 3 correct answers there. That's a tough one. Glitchy Paradox stays in the game and gets it correct. Dracula Fetus down to 1. Elucidate got it wrong as well. And Hammerschnitt has been bounced, so we are going to have a new winner this time. Still probably about 20 people left. We have another history-related question, which I'm sure is going to make those of you who only had 2 HP left and don't know very much about history not so happy. We're going to begin our challenge now. Which of these countries fought in the 100 Years' War? Tick off all valid answers. France, England, Lotharingia, and Burgundy. France, England, Lotharingia, and Burgundy. We have 3 seconds left. Might be a little bit of a trick question. It's France, England, and Burgundy. Lotharingia didn't exist at the time, but Burgundy was indeed a part of the 100 Years' War. That's why this question's a little bit tricky. Let's see who we got here. Oh, wrong answers, but somebody stays in. Aria, Mac and me, and Mark O. Banterbury. These are like the kids who destroy the curve in your college class. You know, everybody else gets a 40 and they get a 100, so the professor doesn't have to regrade it. Lots of people just got bounced as a result. Let's see who's got 2 lives left. Mac and me, 2 lives left. Tansklau, 2 lives left. Everybody else with 1. This person has already been eliminated. So, I don't know why they're still here. Can we get security? And Elucidate, former winner, still in. Here we go. A morphological, zoological question from Charlotte Gertzog. What is the largest type of big cat in the world? Is it a tiger, a cougar, a domestic shorthair, or a lion? It's the largest type of big cat in the world. Good thing they didn't say big dog, because that would clearly be Clifford. I'm going to go ahead and say lion, even though it seems like the obvious answer. It was a tiger. Really? I would not have expected that. I even expected maybe if it was going to be a trick question, it would be cougar, but I guess tigers are just bigger than lions. I think I need to see them like next to one another in order to conceptualize that, but fair enough. Luke stays in. Oh my god, only Luke and Tansklau got it correct. Big T stays in there with 2 hearts. Everybody else down to 1, I think. Only 3 people left. Ignore the person who is taking up squatters' rights here. We got Mac and me, Elucidate, and TK. So I don't embarrass myself with the pronunciation anymore. Tigers are fucking massive, bro. All right. My mistake. I assumed. I just, we have a rivalry. Scary ghost stories written by amateurs and posted on the internet usually are found under this name: Mom Stories, Creepypasta, Weird Tales, or Amateur Posts. Mom Stories, Creepypasta, Weird Tales, Amateur Posts. A lot of questions about internet culture. This one I think is relatively easy. That's a creepypasta, obviously. Everybody gets it correct. Nobody loses any lives. Elucidate. Keeping his authority, influence, prestige high with the correct answer quickly there. Video game related question. I'm sure people are probably going, oh, thank God, but don't say that yet until you see how difficult it might be. Star Fox Adventures. This is from Last Great Wolf, a fellow Twitch streamer. Star Fox Adventures was originally titled Dinosaur Planet. I mean, the names are pretty much interchangeable because, Disney's 2003 film Dinosaurs was originally called Star Fox Island. So it's just, you choose one or the other. Did Nintendo choose to rename Dinosaur Planet into Star Fox Adventures and probably, reprogram the crap out of it? Yes, indeed they did. That's one of those questions that the fact that it exists means it almost has to be true, I feel. And everybody else felt exactly the same way, and Elucidate comes in with the early answer there as well. The Steve model works perfectly in Master of the Grid. It really, really does. All right, we have another question, this time related specifically to The Sims. Rosebuds is the cheat code to get 10,000 simoleons in the patched version of The Sims 1. We'll see. I honestly don't know the answer to this question. I played The Sims 1, but it was way back in the day. Should have been working on a science fair project, but my friend and I just spent all night playing The Sims 1 instead, and then made up our results. Oh, get over yourselves. It was grade 7. It's a false answer. The code, apparently, according to the Sims wiki here in the challenge notes, is Rosebud. Rosebud, no S at the end. We're gonna go to our results. Oh, 2 people got it wrong, and what this actually means is that Elucidate is gonna be on the exact same level as TK here. I don't have a horse in this race. I'm just glad we've got some serious shenanigans for this showdown here. This is going to be for all the marbles. With 2 people left, it sometimes takes a little while to get it separated. One person has to get it right, one person has to get it wrong. 2 wrong answers doesn't make a winner. 2 right answers doesn't make a winner. We gotta find something that one person knows and one person doesn't. This is a music question. Which of these is a real music genre? Hack rap, fissure metal, robo reggae, or glitch hop? I would listen to all of them. Absolutely no question about it. Robo reggae in particular. I'm trying to think of a good Rob Marley. It barely works. That's a joke that would work better in print, but no one will publish me. I believe the answer to this question is glitch hop. Let's see if everybody else knew. They did indeed. We could be here for a while. I've seen these 2-question games or 2-player games of Master of the Grid go on forever. By the way, for people who are saying, oh, I've seen this question before, we are repeating now, but if you are an approved Master of the Grid reviewer, go review some more questions and get them in the game. There's about 1,000 in the queue right now that need to be reviewed, and there's only about 600 questions in the game total. So if you, everybody does their part and reviews 20, we could double the amount of questions overnight, basically. In the Final Fantasy series, of the following random enemies, which one has a single target, non-random, instant death attack? Is it the Tonberry, the Ghost, the Adamantoise, or the Cactar? Tonberry, Ghost, Adamantoise, Cactar. That's the spell in Harry Potter. To add 6 inches to your penis size. Tonberry was indeed the correct answer, according to challenge notes. The Jumbo Cactar does with 10,000 needles, but regular Cactars only use 1,000. Ghosts have doom, but generally not instant death. Adamantoises need to be armor broken, but do not have an instant death attack. Said Tonberry attack is Doink. Ahriman use roulette, and that is random on whether it hits itself or an ally or anyone in your party, and it does cause instant death. Behemoths tend to have final attack meteor or final attack ultima. So that answers all my questions. 2 wrong answers, again, does not make a right. So we, this is something that I think needs to be tweaked a little bit. If one person has more health and there's only 2 people left, I think they should be rewarded for that. But in any case, we're going to start it up again. Doesn't matter in this situation. The NES version of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was released in Japan on which date? 1984, 1986, 1987, or 1989? The NES version of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Not the arcade version. Not the American version. It was 1987. I actually wonder if Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was developed in America or Japan. My heart says America because Mike Tyson's an American boxer, but my gut says Japan because it's an 80s Nintendo game. I don't know the answer to that question, actually. Let's go to our results. Elucidator gets it right, and TK gets it wrong, meaning that Elucidate picks up another 1,000 gritties. I think we got 150 going to the people that lost on the second to last question. Or maybe 100, and then 10 go into the people who lost on, like, the third last question. But in any case, congrats, Elucidate. We're going to try to start seeding right away. I know it's going to annoy a lot of people, but in any case, we're going to start it right away just to hope that the website doesn't get a chance to break. So I've clicked the button. Let's wait and see if some more people show up here. By the way, I saw someone in chat say, it's Ghostfeed here, he says, I think there needs to be some more quality control for questions beyond just, is this factually correct? I actually 100% agree with you. When I go through and I review questions, sometimes I'm like, this is correct, but it's way, way too specific, and, you know, it's conceivable that like 80 people could get it wrong, which I don't think is necessarily fair. Or there's other stuff like, you know, in Legend of Klonoa 2, what was the name of the boss attack that the last attack the boss does in their normal sequence? And you're just like, well, no one's gonna know that, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're enthusiastic about it, but they've got to be a little bit more generalized to make it fun for everybody. Anyway, here we go. This game is not on Steam, it's actually free. After the show, you can just go to masterofthegrid.net. You could, you know, link your Twitch channel, schedule your own shows, or just try to play when there are some scheduled shows going on. I don't know if there's any other scheduled shows like this happening this week, apart from this one. But I'm sure they'll be scheduled. Bear Taffy plays it all the time. In any case, let's start our show up here. Usually takes a second for it actually to go after I click the button, because the site sort of gets overloaded. But I'm glad that once you're on the site, it just keeps working, because as of right now, you know, that would be terrible if I had to refresh or something like that. By the way, yeah, I did just notice that our viewer count is actually kind of crazy. Thanks for coming on out. I know we have front page promotion, and as always, thank you to Twitch for that, and thanks to everybody who joined us from the front page for checking out the game. The game's Master of the Grid. You can go to masterofthegrid.net and play it for yourself, but not right now. Here we go. Question 1. 83 people in the game. Everybody seems full. We've got a question about a famous figure. Famous figure. This man is known as the father of psychoanalysis. Is that Josh Smith, Mario Parlani, Sigmund Freud, or Robert Worlder? J. Smith, M. Parlani, S. Freud, Robert Worlder. This is, like the ideal first question, I think. Some people are gonna get psyched out by it. Most people are gonna stay in. That's the kind of question you want right off the bat. You don't want to make anybody feel out of place by saying like, hey, how many mustache hairs did the third Kaiser of the German Empire have, right? Sigmund Freud, of course, the correct answer here. Let's see you got it right. I don't really, you know, want to make people feel bad by saying, let's see you got it wrong. First 3 questions are just a feeling out period. It seems like these are predominantly correct answers, but hey, this is pretty much what I expected. Like maybe 1 out of every 10 people getting the question wrong here. Maybe they alt-tab didn't realize the question was coming up, or maybe they genuinely didn't know. Either way, that's okay. Fastest answer goes to Freeze. Back in the game as well. And in a moment, this will stop looking at his face and we'll be able to move on. I appreciate that. Alrighty. Next challenge. I think we've had this question before, but do you remember the answer? That's the real trick here, isn't it? The last time the Winter and Summer Olympics were held in the same year was Squaw Valley and Rome, 1960, Calgary and Seoul, 1988, Lillehammer and Atlanta, 1994, or Albertville and Barcelona, 1992. And hell, you need to shave, man. That is indeed true. I need to get that sorted out. I've just been lazy. Answer to that question is Albertville and Barcelona. Lillehammer was 94, Atlanta was 96. That was after. Calgary and Seoul were not the last ones. Squaw Valley and Rome, I think they were in 1960, but anyway. Yeah, the International Olympic Committee voted to separate the games to alternating even-numbered years in 1986, which is why you see them at alternating even-numbered years, like Sochi 2012, London, or Sochi 2014, London 2012. Also the best Olympics-based video game out there. Well, this question got a lot of people. I think the sports questions really, they knocked some people off their game. That was always my competitive advantage, is knowing a little bit about sports, playing on the trivia team in high school. Gave me just that little edge. People don't expect it. The Jivest of Turkeys. What a great name. Also the fastest answer. And you're also at full HP. And what a great avatar as well. That cat in the lobster suit. I really like it. All right. We got a question specifically related to the works of J.K. Rowling. In which Harry Potter book does Harry accidentally swallow a golden snitch? Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets? This is a tricky one. Mostly because I haven't read any of the Harry Potter books. This is the kind of question that might be really, really obvious if you have read it yourself. That's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. You know what's embarrassing is that I actually did read the first one, but it was like 15 years ago, so fair play. Let's see who got that right. So basically, this question is like a survey. Did you read the Harry Potter series? Yes, no. I guess, do you remember as well? Philosopher's Stone isn't a real book. It's called The Sorcerer's Stone. Well, for us over here in North America, I guess, yeah. All right, we got maybe like 10 people bounced out. Docking Chief with the fastest correct answer. Waiting for our next challenge to begin. This one, I'm just going to tell you what it says for me. Tick the real ice cream flavors. I'm going to click the button. All right. Breast milk, bleach, sheep intestines, and charcoal. You know what? After this one goes through, I'm going to nullify it. I think this question needs some more specificity. I'm calling bullshit on it. Yeah. So there's 3 of those. Breast milk, sheep intestines, and charcoal. You know what? Nullify. Are you sure you want to nullify this challenge? No lives will be lost. Congrats, guys. There's no way I'm going to let that one through. Okay, this one. It's okay, Lamar. I don't want you to feel bad about your question. I just feel like that was kind of a nonsense one. This one might be a little tricky as well, but it might be a little bit deceptively easy as well. Estimate the energy in joules required to raise 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree centigrade. This is something I totally knew when I was in high school, but having not used this knowledge in a long time, it has atrophied, much like the parts of my brain dedicated to knowing how to please a woman. In 3 seconds, we will hopefully be a little bit illuminated here. And the answer is between 3,800 and 4,400. I think I'm going to leave this one in because there is a decent chance that you would get this if you had some kind of like based knowledge in science. Knowledge based in science, not, you know, based knowledge. Okay. You know what? I might have overestimated the ease of that question. I would have gotten it wrong as well. I'm sorry. I can't nullify that. Did you submit that question, the Steel Gamer? I know you've been submitting a lot of the science questions here. Well, he got it right. He destroyed the curve. What can I say? Now we've got a question related to music. This is where you guys who are maybe in the same cultural sphere can come up with pick up a little bit of the slack here. True or false, the single Wonderwall by Oasis was the best-selling single in the UK in 1995. Is that true or false? You know what? I'm going to say that that's false, just because there's a huge number of other singles out there. Why pick Wonderwall? Again, it seems like the kind of question that it's guaranteed to be a trick just because the question exists. It is false. According to Challenge Notes, despite its 30th October 1995 release, it managed to rise to the 10th spot in the 1995 singles chart in the UK with 665,000 sales, but I guess it released a little too late in the year to really compete for that #1 spot. Let's go to our results. Lots of people with True on that one. I mean, it's a big song, don't get me wrong. It's had an enduring legacy as well. People are getting thrown out like crazy here. We only have maybe 15 people left. Quillbar04 with the fastest correct answer there. It was Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Yeah, Good Vibrations. That song was huge. I think it was a little earlier, though. All right, next challenge. True or false, Gary Gygax is the creator of Magic the Gathering. False or true? And one thing I want to say, if you're submitting questions, because you can submit questions to Master of the Grid, what I prefer, like true or false, that gives people that don't know a 50% chance. I feel that's not really that fair to the people who know the answer more specifically. Why not rephrase this like Gary Gygax is the creator of which of these games? Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, you know, Pandemic, Super Mario Brothers. That way it makes it a little bit trickier, even if there is a joke answer in there. A lot of the true-false questions I see, I find myself wanting to rephrase. I'm not the trivia be-all, end-all god or anything. I'm just saying, this is false. Richard Garfield created Magic the Gathering in 1993. Gary Gygax is known as the father of Dungeons and Dragons, as he helped to create the game with Dan Arneson. Let's see who got that right and who got it wrong. Got 4 people bounced out there. Sir Francis, I gotta admit, I don't know what L is when it comes to Roman numerals. That's okay. The next question is tick off the valid ice cream flavors. I'm gonna skip it. Okay, here we go. This is a question specific. Little bit too specific about the Star Wars extended universe. I'm gonna skip it. That one's a little too specific. How about this one? This one's a little interesting. I know I'm starting to create like a little bit of bias. I'm introducing my own bias into the game. But at the same time, if you saw the questions that went by, you would probably be with me for the most part, I think. Here we go. Which country has the longest coastline? Canada, Brazil, United States, or Indonesia? It's an interesting question. Canada, Brazil, the United States, or Indonesia? Indonesia's a tricky one in there because it's got so many islands, you know, the surface area can add up pretty quickly. Obviously, Canada, Brazil, and the United States are just enormous. The correct answer is Canada. Canada's coastline measures over 255,000 kilometers, almost double that of the number 2 in the world, the United States. Very interesting. Oh, Canada. We're going to go to our results here. We ended up getting 8 correct answers there, and the Pineapple Pyro was earliest there. Let's see who is left in the game. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people. Docking Chief with 1. Kid Mad with 1. Big Sloth on my face, my dream come true. This person has been kicked from the game, but is still there, so I guess there's only 7 left. Pineapple Pyro with 1. Sir Francis the 42nd with 1. Alexini72 with 1, and FLE with 2. So we got 2 people with 2. Don't we? No, we only have 1 person with 2. All right, FLE, it's your game to lose. Here's a tricky one about history/linguistics. What is the 3rd letter in the Greek alphabet? Theta, Epsilon, Chi, or Gamma? Chi? I'm not totally sure. That doesn't mean it's the wrong answer, though. I just don't know how to pronounce it. The correct answer to this question is Gamma. See, I would think that A, B, C, D, E, F, G would be the 7th letter. I probably would have gone with maybe even Chi, and maybe that would make me an idiot. Let's see who's as smart as I am, though. Wow, everybody got that correct. That makes me feel really bad. I would have been knocked out on that question for sure. All right, next challenge. This one's a little specific, but I'm going to include it. And my voice just cracked because I'm going through puberty for the 8th time. But what can I say? I'm just nervous to be all by myself. Goku died twice during Dragon Ball Z. False or true? What is ridiculous about that is that there's not even anything in the challenge notes and there's no submitter name. It's like Goku himself submitted it and it was like, are you going to argue with me? I really don't know the answer. I'm going to say true. Because it's got to be, yeah. Otherwise, why would the question exist? I have no idea. But they say it's true. 3 people get bounced and we are down to a 4-player game. Pineapple Pyro with the fastest answer. I think we still have 2 people with the correct answer. Or, sorry, we still have 1 person with 2 health. That is not even close to what I said, but it's what I meant to say. And 3 people left with 1 HP. I don't like these true or false questions. I'm skipping them. Like, for example, true or false, in the lore of popular MOBA League of Legends, Malzahar is a man set on stopping beings from another dimension called the Void from setting foot in his world. Boom. True or false? Here we go. This one's too easy. Now I've got myself going down the slippery slope. Alright. This one is choose the right answer. I like this one a little bit better. As of 2014, in baseball, who was the only pitcher to hit a grand slam in the World Series history? Dave McNally, Walter Johnson, Mike Hampton, or Mike Cuellar? Sweller. I'm not totally sure. Don't even... I know I let in that Dota question, but that League of Legends question was not only true or false, too specific, a little bit up its own ass. No offense. Dave McNally, I didn't know the answer to this question, but hey, I figured if nobody does, we'll find out pretty quickly. 3 people did. That strikes me as a little bit suspicious, to be honest with you. I have no bias towards baseball. Sincerely, I don't know anything about baseball trivia myself. But I figured some people might, and apparently I was right. Take this next challenge. Pumice, or pumice, is which type of rock? Sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic? Sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic? Difficult question. I think it's metamorphic because that means change. And I'm going to change my answer to igneous, which is indeed the correct answer. Apparently nothing else in the challenge notes, but all 3 people got it correct. This has me a little bit thinking it's a little bit suspicious here, but that's okay. I'm going to go with that one, a little too easy. All right. Let's go with this one, a question about Greek philosophy. Which famous philosopher used to live in a barrel in the streets of Athens? Damascus, Democritus, Diogenes, or Diocletian? I honestly don't have an answer to this question, but they all sound like names of clerics in fantasy RPGs. The answer to that question was Diogenes. 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 1 incorrect answer, and somebody gets bounced, but we still have the Pineapple Pyro and FLE holding it strong here. It's Diogenes. Don't make fun of me. That's the way it's pronounced. Okay. Who's approving these questions? The Pokemon Blaziken is the number 420 in the National Pokédex. Well, I know that wasn't me that approved that one. Come on now. We're gonna skip that one. Here's a good one. Very simple one. What's the most venomous snake in the world? The king cobra, the death adder, the black mamba, or the inland taipan? Apologies if I'm laying into those pronunciations a little bit too much for your liking. I don't know how to pronounce snakes. Do I look like a reptologist? Someone who studies reptar? I'm not, chat. The answer was the inland taipan, which we don't have any information about. You should fill out those challenge notes, man. I want to learn a little bit. What's its venom poison concentration parts per million? Oh, we're going to go down to 1v1 here. FLE finally gets a second one wrong. Pineapple Pyro pretty much by default gets the fastest answer. Here we go. It's an interesting question here. Could be right. Could be the one we need. Johnny Cash's song, A Boy Named Sue, was written by which children's author? R.L. Stine, Judy Blume, Roald Dahl, or Shel Silverstein? R.L. Stine, viewer beware, you're in for a scare. Hey, God, you there? It's me, Judy Blume. Roald Dahl and the Giant Peach. Or the correct answer, which would be Shel Silverstein. It's not R.L. Stine, chat. Come on. Let's go to results, and I guess he got it right. Congratulations to the Pineapple Pyro for staying into the game, but FLE with the fastest answer. I got a little confused by why I didn't see any light pop up behind Pineapple Pyro there. Here's an interesting one that could separate people easily as well. Although I worry we could have 2 wrong answers. Surprise me, let's get 2 right. Within 5 years, in which year was Coca-Cola invented? I'm assuming this is the formula of Coca-Cola from the, like the Coca-Cola Corporation, not the idea of a cola beverage to begin with. I don't know if Coca-Cola is the original cola. I don't know very much at all, to be fair. Between 1881 and 1891. So 1886 would have been the correct answer there. Let's go to our results. 2 wrong answers. I'm not surprised, but I am a little parched. All right, next challenge. Not specific enough that time. How about this one? This one's got a picture. I like the ones with the picture. This Japanese gate is typically found at the entrance to Shinto shrines. Is it a Genkin, a Ramon, an Inari, or a Tori? I'm trying to make my face go like crazy here so that I don't accidentally give away the answer when I read the correct one. So is it Genkin, a Ramon? I don't know. Answer to this question is it is a Tori, a gate typically found at the entrance to Shinto shrines. 2 correct answers again. We stay in. FLE with the fastest. No gritties for that, though. How about this one? An American politics / internet culture question. The internet is a series of tubes is a remark originally made by this American politician. Ted Stevens, Mitch McConnell, James T. Kirk, or Sarah Palin? The internet is a series of tubes. It's an Alaska-based politician. That might spoil it for you a little bit, or it might mess you up a little bit. The answer is Ted Stevens. Go to our results. I've seen this situation before. It's going to take a really interesting question to separate these two. That's all I can say about that. A hard-fought battle between FLE and the Pineapple Pyro. How did this question get approved? What is the baldest part of Northernlion? Clearly not my jaw right now. Some of these are just ridiculous. You gotta, don't approve silly questions. You gotta think of the creator of the game. He wants it to succeed. Interesting question. As of 2014, what is the only double landlocked country in Europe? Which means that all countries touching it are also landlocked. Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Hungary, Uzbekistan. It's a very difficult question. I think the answer is Uzbekistan. Although, does Uzbekistan border Russia? That's a tough one. I know it's not Switzerland. It's Liechtenstein. All right, I know Liechtenstein's small. But, I'm surprised. I thought Liechtenstein bordered, like... Shit, I don't know where Liechtenstein is. Let's just be honest. Let's go to our results. Oh, FLE got bounced despite having the health advantage, and the Pineapple Pyro comes out with the correct answer there. I'm impressed. Chat's going wild. GG's all around. It is 4:07. I'm going to run a quick 3-minute ad break. I will be back to play some Geoguessr next, and you'll be able to make fun of my knowledge. Don't tell me Uzbekistan... Well, I guess Uzbekistan is in Asia. That's true. I always consider it kind of Eastern European more than Asian, but that's not technically the case, is it? In any case, I'll be back. Thanks for watching thus far. The viewership right now is incredible. I'm sure we'll lose half of it now that I'm going to run some ads for the Xbox One, probably, or Destiny, or Mike Chang eating a big old tuna steak, but I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes to play some Geoguessr. Thanks for watching so far. And we're back. Perfect timing. That means I can close Master of the Grid rather than leaving that music up as much as I enjoy it. Now let me get my screen region set up properly here. You can't really see all of Geoguessr, so we'll remove that and we'll add screen region. And we'll do the old German psychiatrist trick, the Dr. Click and Drag. And so you guys can see the map effectively, I'll put myself up in the top left here, which I think should be a little bit better. All right, Geoguessr. Smarty Pins is pretty good, but I think it's kind of easy as well. But Geoguessr is a game where you get a picture of some place in the world. You can do a little bit of exploration. You get 5 pictures, I should say, and you try to guess where you are. As of right now, I'm not very pleased with the fact that we seem to be placed Southern Hemisphere, probably Australia, possibly Africa, possibly South America, although my guess is Australia. Something about this red dirt makes me think of Australia. It's not Toronto. By the way, for people who are like, why are you playing this nerd game? Play something cool. You must be new here. People want me to play Geoguessr all the freaking time. And I want to play it all the time. One of the reasons we don't play it that much is that Nick keeps me honest. And he's like, I don't want to play this dumb geography game. And I'm like, you know what? I blame you, but at the same time, I don't. All right, so we're not really learning a whole lot about the red planet here, despite the fact that it's actually loading the pictures really quickly. It almost feels like we're kind of zooming down the road here. This is what the world looked like if you tried to watch a video on 56K internet. Hey, Ather Games, thanks for coming by. Don't thank me for playing the game. Thanks for coming by. You can lend me your expertise. All right, so this is where we go full nerd. We take the angle of the sun as it goes through the clouds. Look, we're somewhere in Australia. What's your strategy? You've played so much of this, Ather. What's your strategy when you see red dirt and trees? Do you just pick a random place in Australia? Or do you let yourself go for like 30 minutes driving down the road until you find a sign that says like Outback Steakhouse, you know, New South Wales? Yes, this is a free game, by the way. You can go to Geoguessr with no e.com and play. You'll get randomly dropped into spots here. Oh, something went wrong while displaying this page. Are you kidding me? Reload. Well, that means I'm probably not going to be... Oh, resume. All right, well, we're back. I am going to go with Australia. And I'm going to say that that is... Who knows? Let's say it's near Alice Springs. I know Alice Springs is like a city, so we're probably not in the city. Maybe we'll take like a little bit north of Alice Springs, make our guess. Your guess was 1,159 kilometers away. That's not that bad. It was in Queensland, but that's not too bad. Okay, at least we're on the right continent. That's actually pretty tough given the situation. All right, this is more my speed here. Immediately, to me, this looks like Northern Europe or America. It's Northern Hemisphere for sure. Could be Ireland. Could be like Finland. Could be Sweden. Could be Germany. Could be Kentucky for all I know. But I'm getting a distinctly European vibe from the area that we're in. You know what? This could also be like New Zealand or something like that. Can't you just imagine like Howard Shore's wonderful Lord of the Rings score? Hopefully we can get some language here. Don't ride your moose near the telephone pole. Okay. Keep going here. This looks to me like Bilbo Baggins would walk down this. But I always thought that, Tolkien wasn't trying to be evocative of the environment in New Zealand necessarily. It was more of like an old school, like, English thing. There's a lot of places on Earth that this could be right now, which is why I'm really trying to get some language here. We can't tell that much just by the... architecture's helpful. We can't tell that much just by the... flora and fauna, though. I mean, you probably could if you actually knew anything about it, but I don't. Like, oh, if we're Sherlock Holmes, we could be like, this is a species of daffodil that only grows near Riga. And we'd be like, okay, I got it. That's my backyard, NL. Look, I'm thinking this is United Kingdom. Scotland, Ireland. We can't actually go any further in this direction. Oh. Well, they use kilometers, so we're not in the US. And am I crazy, or does that say, like, there's either a dash in it, or it's like Grohyu. To me, that looks like some Scottish level bastardization of the English language. No offense, there's a lot of character in it. But this is definitely, I'm going to guess definitely Europe. It doesn't look like any Canadian sign I've ever seen. But I can't tell if this is English or if it's another language. And it's not really coming into focus. Is there a second language underneath it? That's as good as we can get. Now I'm starting to think like Russia. Scotland uses miles? I know. I'm apologies for like spoiling this for myself. But all right. This looks like northern hemisphere to me. Let's take a look at Europe. I'm going to say it's northern hemisphere of Europe, or northern part of Europe, I should say. I'm tempted to take maybe something in Ireland, but I think I'm actually, that sign almost makes me think more of like Belarus or Lithuania or Ukraine or Latvia or Estonia. The problem with taking Estonia is that, if we go for noteworthy Estonian cities, we're going to be really far away if we're super wrong. So I'm actually going to like split the difference and maybe take like Warsaw, but this could be really bad. You were oh no. Well, to put it into perspective, we weren't that far off from our Australian guest, despite being almost a whole continent away. So that's not so bad. I can live with it, and I've learned something about Wales now. You got to admit, again, no offense to my Welsh viewers, I was kind of right about it being English but bastardized. I just didn't trust myself. I'm coming from the continent that invented hashtag and twerk, so keep in mind I'm being self-deprecating as well. All right, next round. That could have been better. This looks horrifying to me. I'm hoping that we can get contextual clues this time. We didn't get that many on the last one. 60. Probably 60 kilometers. 60 miles an hour down this dirt road sounds pretty much like suicide. And we got some mailboxes. We got some tires. Certainly, this is the camera that they use for, like, Africa, South America, and Australia. There's, like, just a different kind of camera. There is a sign here. Look, I'm not trying to start a Welsh versus English argument. It's all good, guys. Just, if you can't make fun of yourselves, who can you make fun of, right? Does it say M. Bison? Are we at Capcom headquarters in, like, downtown Tokyo? That looks like M. Richson Street to me. It's like this place is so sparsely populated that man has his own street. Could be a lady, I guess. What did you freaking take the pictures of, or take the pictures with here? This is like a Nikon Coolpix. Oh, the day turned to night in like 2 seconds there. Nikon Coolpix, like 1800 edition. Okay, seriously, I'm gonna need you to like take us a little closer. Can you get more closer? Seriously though, I can't see anything. So we'll move on a little bit here. This is a bad Geoguessr seed. I'm calling it right now. Really just can't make out. I need to clean the freaking lens, man. I'm thinking that, to me, something about this says South Africa. It's like the climate. You got these, like, kind of mangrove type trees here. This could be South America too. But they also... Oh, hey. Indie Gamer News. Thanks for the subscription. Up, down to the side. Welcome to the Lion Pride. They were It looked like the sign was in English. There's not that many countries in Africa where they speak English. Same with South America, I guess. So I'm thinking, I know they speak also like Afrikaans in South Africa, but it was using the English alphabet anyway. So I'm gonna say that this is like, let's say this is like Cape Town, South Africa. Please don't be Melbourne, Australia. That's not so good. That's not a very good guess for me. That was 10,000 kilometers away. I got 6 points, which is like bare minimum. Oh, please stop putting me in these like deserts with just trees and clouds. This is a tough one. All right, this one. Honestly, I just want to get out of the seed as soon as possible. We'll take like middle Australia here. That was the closest guess we've had thus far, and it was just a shot in the dark. Okay. You know, I love to call out Pacific Northwest when I see it. I'm getting a distinctly... hey, number 18. Thank you for the subscription as well. I'm getting a little bit of a Pacific Northwesty vibe. Not Kanye West's daughter. But the cars, they got a little bit of a European slant going on as well. So we'll see. I mean, you know, there could just be two cars that are unusual for the Pacific Northwest in order. This looks European to me. Yeah. Let's take a look around. It might not even... I don't know, man. This could be Australia again for all I know. But I know that this is not North America. There was a dog there a second ago. How you doing, buddy? That looks like a Russian dog, if you ask me. I thought that said WNBA choice there. I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm probably wrong. Oh, there we go. Look, why am I zooming in? I have no idea what the hell that says regardless, but at least we know that we're somewhere where, like, the Cyrillic language is used. So, admittedly, I can't really tell the difference between, like, Russian and the Greek alphabet and stuff like that, but I can get roughly into the region where we are. Did I say that looked like a Russian dog, or did I say that looked like a Russian dog? This looks like Daisy. See if we can get like a little bit more information. Oh, that's probably a really juicy piece of information if we had like a phone book or something, or we spoke the language that this is. But if we spoke the language that this is, we probably wouldn't need the information anyway. Sometimes I like to look for signs that like say cities, because if there's big tourist contingents, the signs might possibly have the name of the city in another language. All right, I'm gonna say this is Russia. Gonna go with my first instinct there. And you know, I'll take a quick zoom around here. I don't think I'm... Oh, geez, this is the part of Russia where the dome comes off and you just get the UV rays straight into your face. I don't have any particular hunch as to where this is in Russia. You know, it doesn't look particularly cold, but it doesn't look particularly warm either. It could be a seasonal thing. I'm just gonna go for a Russian... The problem with Russia is that it's just enormous. So I'm gonna take like a Russian city. Let's go with Yaroslavl. I should have gone with Moscow, because that's the obvious answer, but I was like, they wouldn't make it Moscow. That's too obvious. That was only 240.7 kilometers away. That's not so bad. All right. Not a very good game. We're going to not play the same map again. Try another map here. That's not so bad. We can choose, actually, what we want to do. Let's do one more world, and then maybe we can get down and do, like, Canada only and see. All right. Well, certainly this looks a little Welsh again. What makes me think, you know, it's in that region? Like, Hadrian's fucking wall right here. Lots of green. I could be way wrong, though. Thank you for complimenting me on that guess, by the way. I appreciate it. This looks European as hell. The Something Stones Country Inn. Real food, real ale, families welcome. That shit wouldn't fly in North America. So I'm thinking it's Ireland. Why? Stones? Stones are a popular tourist attraction. 2 bars, a restaurant, family room, beer garden, play area. You don't often see liquor establishments advertising how many bars have in North America from what I've seen. Just a slight cultural difference. I'm jealous. Genuinely. Was that say Darby Cottage? Danby Cottage? This is Burstones. Timothy Taylor. Now that's a potentially interesting name. Taylor's Irish, I think. And they have a play area? Yeah, they, apparently. I want to see, like, the menu item. I'm thinking that the menu could help us out here. Open 7 nights for quality food and Thursday to Sunday lunch. That doesn't give me as much information as I thought it would be. I think we've already seen this sign, but again, I want to see if they have, like, their menu advertised. This is, like, where Ernest Hemingway would want to die in a good way if there was also, they had rum. There's a pickup truck, though. Just for a second, I was like, wait a minute, I've been tricked. This is America. No, okay. Yeah, you've told me many times about the beer garden and play area. Just want to see if maybe we can zoom in on that. This has got to be Ireland. Well, it's got to be somewhere near Ireland, at least. So I'm going to say that this is near Dublin. Because when in doubt, let's just go for the biggest city, I think. Oh, wow. It was actually in Scotland. No, it was not. It was in northeastern England. Sorry, I forgot where the border was here, which I guess is still a little further up. Anyway, sure. My bad. Don't fulfill the English stereotype of getting mad about the borders, all right? I'm trying. Way better than average as well, at least for my countrymen. All right, this is a bad start. Knowing that there's palm trees and, like, hay shanties here, geographically it puts me in a very specific region, but I'm pretty bad at this specific region. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong. This could be the Caribbean. I can't even move. This could be the Caribbean, or this could be, like, Southeast Asia. And honestly, I don't know enough about, like, the flora and fauna of them to really choose. But I'm going to go ahead and say this is the Caribbean, and we'll just, I mean, it could be Hawaii, but I'm just going to say this is in, like, Havana, Cuba. Oh, my God! It was, like, it was in East Timor. Come on. I got 0 points. I was 16,000 kilometers away. Look, you can see it tiling there. Don't forget, you're here forever. Jeez. That was a tough one. All right, all you East Timorians, you got me on that one. If only I maybe could have freaking moved around there. Then I would have maybe found a way to at least pick Indonesia. That would have put us closer. So it was Southeast Asia. Have you ever seen Cuba? That's not Cuba. Have you seen all of Cuba, motherfucker? I've never seen Cuba, I'll admit. I've never seen East Timor either. You know, if we based it on countries I've never seen, we're going to be here for a long time. So this is probably like one of the only clues we're going to get here. This is I think it's a GMC. So despite the camera quality, I think we could pretty easily be in North America here. Is this like an old beat-up Ford? This is looking like you know, John Denver country here as far as I'm concerned. There are a lot of there's a lot of like states that this could be. There's a lot of places in Canada this could be as well. Like this could easily be in like Alberta or something like that. But I'm gonna take something from the Midwest of the U.S. and that should hedge our bets pretty nicely. So thinking maybe we'll take something like Idaho. Or maybe even further into the west here. Yeah, maybe something like Kansas. We'll take like Kansas City or something like that. It should be a little further away, I guess. We'll take Wichita. Okay, so it was in South Dakota. That's not so bad. I can deal with that. That's why we were hedging our bets. Let's play the next round. I can live with that. All right, this is Blair Witch country here. Even though this might look like Pacific Northwest, I would be inclined to think that maybe we're actually we could be in Europe, but if we're in North America, which is my wheelhouse, even though I was just like 800 kilometers away there, I would say that we're actually maybe in like an eastern forest. You know, we could be in like Quebec, Maine, New Hampshire, or, you know, Estonia, Sweden, Norway, or I could be totally wrong and we could be in the freaking Yukon or something, but this looks to me a little bit more eastern. But oh, good, we're going to get some houses here. Eastern if it's in North America. If it's in Europe, who knows? And this sign looks a little more European to me. Yeah, so we're somewhere not in North America. That's fine. For some reason, I'm thinking Norway. Although, actually, you know what? Those houses, these look super Icelandic. One of the few countries I've been to in Europe had a lot of houses that look like this. But that doesn't mean... Oh, is that like... It's probably not likely to be a map of the whole country. I could see that being like the Scandinavian peninsula. So, I'm going back and forth, but I think it's a Nordic country. I don't know if Iceland counts as Nordic, or if it's just, you know, Sweden, Finland, Norway.